Hi.
Howdy.
What did we do this past week, Mel?
We did finally what we have been promising for weeks to do, and we launched a Patreon today.
We launched a Patreon. We launched merch. We've got
Sure
stickers.
did.
You can buy stickers. And actually, if you join our Patreon, you will get a sticker.
Perks.
Perks. There's perks. So, our Patreon, first, we have our $5 a month tier. That's rookies and interns. When you sign up, we're going to give you, you can get a Pit Crew or a Puck Crew logo sticker, and you get to choose one. And we will also do one live stream a month that you can join in on. And then you'll also, now there is a little free option. You will be able to join the free tier, and you can have book club discussions and episode discussions with other listeners, that we have been promising to make a space for you guys to talk outside of the algorithm. So that will be your safe
Side
space
of
to do
the
that.
internet, which is bleak.
Yes. And then what's the other tier, Mal?
The second tier is the $10 tier. It's the veterans and attendings tier, or as we affectionately call it, the old white guys tier. and you will understand when you see the cover art for it. And so that one includes an exclusive bonus episode and also everything in the $5 tier. So one bonus episode a month in which we talk about something undetermined. But if you like us and you want to hear more of us, you can do that.
We'll talk about random shit. You can ask us to talk about things if you want to. You can send us a message through Patreon, so you will be able to do that. You can suggest things. So, yeah. Now, also, if we have interviews with people, you will be able to chime in. We will reach out to you beforehand and let you know so that you can chime in with some potential questions that we might be able to ask during those interviews. We have been working really hard to try to get interviews for you guys. It is not easy.
It is not.
We wanted to let you know. You can look up the Pit Crew podcast on Patreon.
It'll be linked in show notes for this episode, as well as our Etsy store will also be linked for merch. We have some good stickers.
Yep. Yeah, so if you go to patreon.com/pitcrewpodcast, you'll be able to find us there. And then, of course, we have the Pit Crew shop on Etsy, which is where we started selling stickers. We've got some bumper stickers. We have more stickers coming. I've been working on some ideas, but the thing is that we have to have them all manufactured and made before, and then we can start, listing them for sale.
Because we do get all of our stickers from Sticker Junkie, and it is a woman-owned business, and we love to support small businesses, so...
Small businesses, women-owned businesses, they also are very loudly anti-Trump, which is great. We love that. And so they are so wonderful to work with. The stickers are freaking fantastic. They're really good quality. If you've got some stickers, we do want to see the pictures. We've had some people send us pictures. We're so excited to see them. We're excited that you guys are excited. So please, please keep tagging us, keep sending us photos. Go join our Patreon. Buy some merch. This is crazy for us. We're so excited that this is actually happening.
Yeah, I can't believe people actually listen to us yap about things.
And then want to give us money for it. Crazy.
Well, we hope.
So far, quite a few of you have bought stickers, so... yeah, so with that being said, enjoy the show.
Yay.
Welcome to the Puck Crew. I'm your captain, Camille, and I have my alternates with me.
I'm Mal.
And I'm Robert.
And this week we have drafted yet another rookie, but I guess really not a rookie, maybe a visiting captain of a sort. We have Leigh from Believe in Anything Pod.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited.
Thanks for being here. Anybody who has listened to our SNL recap episode is familiar with Leigh.
Yes.
Leigh was with us for that because Mal and Leigh met at SNL.
We experienced SNL together, for sure.
It feels like a lifetime ago.
No, that was actually a year ago, so...
Yeah, crazy.
I was like, y'all got injured stripper Connor Story in person.
Sure did.
In person.
Sure
and Surprise
did.
Hudson in person.
Ugh.
Sure did.
That was crazy.
Leigh, will you tell everybody where they can find you on socials?
Well, if you want to follow the pod, it will be at Believe in Anything Pod, and we're on Instagram, we're on Threads, and we're on YouTube. And then my personal book account, I guess, would be at Literary Leigh.
Also, can I just say, you guys just talked to Harrison Brown.
We did.
That was so cool.
We did. We can't. Yeah, I feel like anytime, even the smallest little interview bit. Not that Harrison's like a small interview, but we're like in shock. It's crazy when you shoot your shot and then they're like, sure. But it was, yeah, he was so kind and spoke to us for genuinely 5 minutes before his Q&A at the Ripped Bodice out in Brooklyn. But he was so lovely. Truly so lovely.
I just started reading his book today, and I'm an audiobook girly, and I will say the person who narrates the audiobook, when they're like quoting other people that were quoted for the book, they do accents, and I'm like, okay, this isn't fiction. We don't need to do that.
Okay,
So
that's
like
interesting.
that's rough, but
Yeah.
like they're like, oh, here's an athlete from New Zealand, and I'm like, don't
And
do
they
it,
do a
don't
New
do
Zealand
it,
accent.
and they do
Oh,
it.
jeez.
No.
Oh, God.
Oh no.
I don't think I like that.
The book is incredible.
Yeah, and the
I'm loving it.
yeah, and the Q&A was great and really insightful. I was like so interested in hearing about the research that went into it on his side, and it's him and his sister that wrote it, and she's an investigative journalist, and I just thought it was really insightful and like really introspective. And the talk was great, and it was funny and serious, and I think brought to light a couple of things that I don't think about in my like active daily life.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that he said that it forced him to address his own internalized misogyny,
Yeah.
which I thought was really fascinating. Yeah, so I'm a little bit into it, but I'm loving it. It's great. It's really good. It's called Let Us Play. If anybody wants to pick it up and read it or get the audiobook, it's really great. Well, today we're going to dive into chapters 16 through 18 of Heated Rivalry by Rachel Reid. This is your spoiler warning. We're spoiling everything.
We're going to talk about shit that we haven't read yet. Don't yell at us on the internet.
Just for shits and gigs, we're gonna spoil the fact that Ilya dies in the long game. So
That's why it's called the long game.
Chapter 16 starts us
January
off
2017.
January
We are in
2017.
Tampa Bay. The way that I smiled when I saw that it was Tampa Bay, I was like, finally, we're gonna make some moves.
Anytime Tampa Bay comes up in one of these books, you're like, let's fucking
Things
go.
are happening. Things are happening.
Things always happen in Tampa
Yeah.
Bay.
There's
Tampa
so,
baby.
No, this Tampa Bay, positive. But sometimes I'll be like reading a fanfic and it's like, hey, the centaurs are going to Tampa, and I'm like, oh fuck.
Oh no. You said, oh no.
Why? I need somebody to write a fanfic where Shane and Ilya have to interact with a Florida man, please and thank you.
Oh god. Shane is nervous because it's been 6.5 seasons he's used to this fucked up thing with Rosanov, right? But something's different this time. And he's like, I don't know, is it possibly because I'm like, I've talked out loud to somebody?
Yeah, no, I think you need to be very specific about the word choice here, because he says spoken out loud to someone about his possible preference.
I said, sir, possible.
Possible? This is crazy, bro.
It's insane to read this out loud and to have heard his internal monologue these past 15 chapters being like, I really like having sex with Ilya. I don't really like having sex with women. I wonder what that means.
It's like Karen in Mean Girls. Like, there's a 98% chance that it's already raining.
Denial is a river in Egypt. You are gay.
Assigned gay by Rose Landry. There's only one person who can tell you who you are. Me? No, me, Rose Landry.
It's every episode is either us saying that or us saying that, but it's Ilya instead. It depends.
But I also think it's wild that he's like, oh, maybe I'm feeling this way because like things were weird the last time me and Rosanov were together, or maybe like I just feel sure about like what I want now. And I'm like, how do you feel sure about what you want now if you're still like, it's a possible preference?
Which one is it? Which one is it, Shane?
I want to possibly have his dick in my mouth.
would possibly prefer that to eating pussy, so.
I want to possibly prefer Ilya Rozanov. That's actually the really funny part, is that this is not the, oh, am I in love with Ilya Rozanov like thought. This is, oh, I'm gay and I want to have sex with Ilya Rozanov, who I have these really extreme feelings for, but I'm not going to break them down for another couple years.
I don't think those things are related, right?
Well, he's not naming it, but like he's getting there, and he's finally admitting, like, this is big because he's finally admitting that he wants to spend time with Ilya instead of acting like this is some compulsory thing that he has to do because it's his routine. He's like, I can't wait to get there and see him and be with him behind closed doors.
And, like, we're poking fun, but this is, like, the first time that he's talked about this without... I mean, he does call it a fucked up arrangement initially, but, like, it feels like it's less shameful. Like, he's feeling a lot less shame about it, and it's a lot less like, this is an awful thing that needs to end. This is like this relationship is fucked up, we need to fix it. Which, it's a different energy, which is good. And we're finally playing together this year. This is our All-Stars where we play together.
Which
Thank
he's
God.
like the most excited about too. Where he's like, and I get to play hockey with someone who's just as good as me.
It's symbolism. They're getting on the same team, on the same page. Symbolism. Anyway.
This was the first time that Ilya isn't looking forward to an all-star game.
Right, yeah.
And then
It's the
there's
opposite,
Shane,
yeah.
who's like, oh, this is gonna be fucking awesome, dude.
I get to play with Ilya.
Like, Ilya's on a plane bouncing his knee because he's nervous, and Shane's on the plane kicking his feet because he's tee-heeing his whole way there. Like, he can't handle it. I actually, like, I've never watched an all-star game, I'll be honest. I'm not that interested.
Yeah, I've never watched a baseball All-Star game, so...
It's like, you can love a sport, but, like, I think the thing about an all-star game is, like, it's almost like the Olympics, but just for your little, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you get to watch the best of the best do what they do best. But I'm not really, I don't know, I'm not really interested in, I'm more, like, teams focused than player focused. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, you're all NHL players. You're all, like, shit. We're talking about how the press is having a field day, writing about, like, this is this huge monumental event. Shane and Ilya are gonna have to try to put aside their animosity and learn to work together. Is it possible? And Shane is, like, smiling to himself as he's, like, hanging up his clothes in his hotel because he's like, oh.
He's like, if only the press knew how well we can work together when we, you know.
If they only knew.
If they only knew that that Ilya's really good at giving instruction, I'm really good at taking it.
But I mean, it's gotta be wild because it's been like 7 years of them configuring the All-Star game in fucked up ways in order to put these two guys
Against each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, 7 years you've been told that, like, these two guys fucking hate each other and all of a sudden they have to be on the same team. Like, of course the press is gonna be like, can they do it? Because they've, like, built up this thing.
And so, but he's thinking, oh, if only they knew. And then he's like, if only I knew what was going on in Ilya's head. Because I don't know. I don't know what to expect from him. And he refers to him as his temporary teammate.
Yeah, and he says he's not sure if Ilya's gonna end things or if he wants to push things further. Like, Ilya also hasn't texted him in 2 months, so...
Which isn't abnormal. It's not like they text each other every day, but he's still harping on, it's been 2 months. I'm like, buddy, this is not situationship behavior. You don't care if your situationship texts you or not.
Yeah.
And we just had that whole struggle of, like, because of the rows of it all, Ilya was like, oh, I'm not texting him. But Shane was like, I expect him to text me. And I'm like, how about y'all just take action rather than thinking about what you think the other person should or might do? Why don't you just do something?
Unstoppable force meets a movable object, but they're just both really petty and stupid.
So the 2 months thing, we find out from Ilya's point of view, and Ilya specifically says he hasn't texted Hollander in 2 months, and it feels very intentional. And I have so many thoughts on, like, the use of first names versus last names in these chapters that I will get to later, but, like if you pay attention to when they use first names, when they use last names, like, things are developing.
But, like, Hollander is very intentional. He's got to walk that ship back. He's like, okay, Shane was bad. I can't say Shane anymore. Hollander.
There was a lot of shame there. We can't do the Shane again. So, and there's a quote that says, not that they had ever regularly contacted each other before, but this silence had been particularly deafening. The past few weeks had been the first time that Ilya felt sure that, if he texted him, Shane wouldn't reply. Shane would probably show the text to his movie star girlfriend, and they would laugh at how pathetic Ilya was. And this makes me so goddamn sad, because they've acted for so long like they hate each other, and now Ilya is trying to convince himself that Shane and Rose hate him, like, as a unit now. And he's like, listen, Shane Hollander can hate me, but Shane Hollander and Rose Landry?
Can't do both. Yeah. Or worse, that, like, he's like, Shane doesn't need me anymore. Like, he has someone now that's fulfilling all the things that I fulfilled.
Right.
And he's so worried, like, his worst nightmare for this weekend is that Shane is going to try to introduce him to Rose Landry.
Yes, and he's like, oh my god, I'm gonna kill myself.
He's like, I'm gonna punch her in the tit. You can't introduce me. He's like, I will try to steal your woman, but then I'm gonna leave her high and dry. Payback, bitch.
Just like Shane did, because he's bad in bed.
So Ilya is panicking, but then he runs out of time to panic because Shane walks in to the bar.
Hollander walks to the bar.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hollander walks into the bar. And Ilya thinks that he looks relaxed and confident, like, quote, a man who has gotten his life together. And I was thinking about how, like, this is interesting because it implies the fact that, like, getting his life together includes kicking Ilya to the curb. And, like, Ilya makes this very good observation that Shane looks like a man who doesn't question himself anymore, but then, like, he takes in that data and then he processes it wrong. But that's, like, that's depression brain. Like, that's abused kid brain. Nobody loves me. I'm not worth it. I'm just a mistake to the people in my life. Everybody leaves me. That's how he's going about this.
Like, of course he feels like Shane's life is better without him, because all the evidence he's had his entire life, like, suggests that.
So Shane has a fresh new outfit. He's
Woo!
kitted up to the gods. And the only issue that I have with the outfit in the book is the woven belt. Because that's like,
oh, yeah, I hate that.
Feels like for it's like for a
It's
5-year-old on Easter.
No, it's so Florida. It's so preppy Florida.
Shane,
and
can put on
sneakers
your
without
Easter
socks.
outfit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, you gotta have a no-show sock moment or something.
I'm like, listen, if you're gonna wear like a linen shirt like that, cuff the pants and wear your Sperry's.
Yes.
If you're going for it, go for it. You know, just do it.
And Ilya is wearing shorts and a shirt that's covered in palm trees because he thought it'd be funny, but now he feels like a fucking idiot.
That line, oh, it's like the funniest and saddest line.
It's so sad.
Yes, it makes me feel so sad. It's a role reversal between Ilya and Shane because Shane has always felt stupid and infantile around Ilya, and now we flipped this, and Ilya feels like an idiot while Shane looks like he's got his life together.
Ilya's like, I did not get the dress code for this event.
He's like, oh, I thought it was hee-hee-ha funny, and you look hot as hell, and you didn't tell me. That's so rude. I feel like this is like, and we'll go into it, obviously, but like, this is just like such a good example of like how much the tide turns in this, like in this part of the story.
Florida. Turning tides.
Like, yeah, and like leading up to
Tide turns in Tampa. A lot of tides turning in Tampa. I
Lots of
gotta
tides
say,
turning in
that's
Tampa.
a theme. What has happened to Rachel Reid
Hey,
in
what's
Tampa
happening
is
over
my
there?
question. What like big life change has come for her in Tampa? Like it's always fucking Tampa.
She's got some,
What
she's
was
got
the
some
rest of
history
your
Tampa.
thought?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
the tide's turning and I lost it. I was just gonna say it's like the shift leading all the way up to like when the sun set and then the room, like all of that is such a like it
Touching
really is like
in public.
Yeah, it's such a turning point, and it's Shane who's leading all of that because Shane's had his big come to Jesus moment, kind of, sort of, in Shane's way. He still has a lot of growing to do, but like he's had his like, oh, I'm gay, and I've said
I
it
know
out
what I
loud to
want.
somebody. I know what I want now.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Ilya's always been the one who
Well,
like knows what he wants.
no.
quote, unquote.
He has not said, I am gay out loud.
No,
to
he was
anybody
told. Yeah,
at
he
this point.
was
Right. Someone has told him
Yeah.
that he's gay.
Which in his head he's like, right, that's the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's important because I want to talk about that later as well. Great.
Wait a minute. Are we saying that Shane is gay?
I didn't read it that way, but if you do, that's fine.
I think the text you can
Art is
interpret.
subjective. I just think he's confused.
I think you can interpret the text multiple ways.
Oh my god.
It is
I'm
funny
trying
because that is
to-
sometimes how, like, straight people, like, I kind of joke that I'm bad at coming out because I fully thought I was out to my mom and my college roommate, and both those people were like, no, we had no idea. And I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
cool. Because I didn't use the words, I am gay. So, the subtext, people miss it. An Ilya line that hurts my feelings. He cursed himself for feeling so gloomy. It should be a fun weekend. The hotel was a fucking beach resort. And I'm just like, hello, depression. There you are.
Mm-hmm. This is where it starts to come in through the cracks, right? He's started to let those walls down. And so now there are cracks for that to start to come in and really take root, because we have these cracks in the wall for Shane, but at the same time, we're still hiding in the dark, right? So again, to use the same metaphor that I used a couple weeks ago, it's moldy.
Mhm.
Mold is growing. And it's like, oh, honey. And like, yeah, as someone who wasn't diagnosed with depression until 2019, I was depressed for a long time before that. But that was when it became so evident that it was like physically affecting me. And a doctor looked at me and literally was like, I think you're depressed and you should go see a doctor that can diagnose you with that. So there are people who go through episodes of depression. Like, you don't have to always have depression, right? You can have situational depression. Like, if someone dies and you're depressed for a while, but there are people like me who just like live that way all the time. But there are like specific points in your life where it can flare up really badly, and that's when people are like, I just thought I was tired. And that really, like, I just thought kind of being sad was because I had always been told I was a sensitive person. So I just thought that's what it was, and that I was tired. But like, being tired, of course, I was like, well, it must be something going on with my heart. And it was the cardiologist that was like, no, it's not your heart. So
It's your
Yeah.
stupid fuck-ass brain.
it's your metaphorical heart. So Shane approaches Ilya at the bar because Shane looks good and he knows what he wants, and he knows that what he wants is the beautiful man at the bar in a stupid palm tree shirt. And he tries making small talk with Ilya and like act like they're good and like, oh, it's nice that it's in Florida. I'm glad we're on the same team. I've always wanted to do this. This is so cool. And Ilya's just tense because he's like, I am certain we are done for. This is
Yeah.
Shane trying to shift gears with me and just be buddies. And I can't
And he's
do
like,
that.
his every thought is of Rose Landry. He's like, and this is the moment where he's going to tell me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
Rose Landry.
Yeah.
And
I
so
can't imagine the worst thing you're expecting to hear is, oh, would you like to be my girlfriend, Rose Landry? Like, at that point, I think Ilya would just compare that to, he would rather Shane shoot him at that point.
yeah,
No, genuinely.
just take me out back. I'm done.
We're bullying him out of love.
Yeah, they're playing, they're doing a little bit of ballet with this. Yeah, because it could just be, so you and Rose Landry still a thing? No? Yes? No? The end. Yeah, but it's not as fun. It's just not as fun.
So 2 things that people were saying. One thing that people were saying is he's autistic. And I was like, yes, bitch, I know.
Yes.
This is 30 seconds of our podcast. Calm the
And
fuck
I'm still
down.
allowed to make fun of him for it, knowing that I would probably do the same thing, okay?
And then also, people were like, of course he's thinking about his parents. He's Asian. Listen, I want to point out, those are 2 very valid things about Shane. However, what becomes problematic about representation is when you say, this is Shane. He's Asian and he's autistic. And that informs absolutely everything he does. That's not a human being. Like, what are you talking about? You can't write a character and think, what would this autistic character do every single time they say something or do something, right? Then you are not genuinely writing or acting properly. That is not a nuanced human. You can't write nuanced human beings.
Well, because any different, like, marginalized identity is, like, not a monolith. Like, every single autistic person is not the same. Every single Asian person is not the same. And so it's like, you have to approach it as Shane, who is these things, but is not, like, only these things, you know?
But also, like, keep in mind, Shane does not seem to be in touch much with his Asian heritage, right? His Japanese heritage is not really a thing that he, and I personally, I've talked about this before few weeks back in our episode with Aaron, but I talked about how, personally, I don't think that's necessarily a fault of the writing. I think there are people of color who are not in touch with that part of their identity. There are a lot of people who, for whatever reason, are not really that in touch with that part of their identity. Either that's because they tried to westernize, or their parents tried to westernize to try to help them assimilate or fit in or whatever, or to, like, in a problematic but they mean well way, make things better for their kids. Right? So I don't necessarily think that it's problematic of the writing that Shane is not in touch with his Asian heritage.
No, I think that's like pretty realistic.
Yeah.
In like Western culture. Not to say that everyone is like that, but I don't think that that's crazy. I think Shane identifies wholeheartedly as Canadian, and he talks. I forget. Maybe you guys have talked about it already, but he mentions, like, he says it kind of like as a throwaway line, but he's like, yeah, we're like,
I don't want to be a gay icon.
Yeah, exactly.
He just wants to play hockey. He doesn't want to be the Asian hockey player. He doesn't want to be the gay hockey player. Like, he wants to be a really fucking good hockey player. Like,
and you know what? And maybe that's because that's all he can handle, and in his own brain, that's what he can manage. He's like, I don't know how to be all of these things, all of these labels, all of these things that people are saying I am. I just want to play hockey. Whether that's because of his autism or what have you. Shane is, as we know, pretty one-tracked. Like, he cannot do too many things.
He's a hockey autistic. Yeah, Ilya wants to know if Shane brought anyone with him. You know, Shane's like, oh, my parents. And I was sitting here thinking, Shane Hollander, you are the sexiest man he has ever seen. He's staring at Shane's throat, and he's watching his lips, and then Shane rakes his eyes over Ilya because he's getting confident.
He's flirting. And like he's openly flirting, which is crazy.
Which is crazy. And we talked about this last week. We talked about the fact that Shane learns how to flirt from his relationship with Rose. He learns how to go on dates and be good at conversation with Rose. He doesn't learn that with Ilya. So now he's like, aha, I've learned new tricks. Now I'm going to use them.
Now he's like, I know what a relationship is supposed to be because I have experienced it. Prior to this, I had no idea. But now that I've done it in a lower stakes situation, I'm ready.
Right.
I'm ready to bring my A game.
He's like, you can pull it off. You look good. That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
Exactly. And I was thinking specifically about the fact that Rose is like, you're so cute. Have I ever told you that? And I'm like, he's learned how to straight up call somebody cute now. He's telling Ilya that he looks good and that he pulls off this fuck-ass shirt.
If anyone could pull off a fuck-ass shirt, it is Ilya Rozanov. So, much like in the show, someone comes over to give them a hard time about sitting at the bar together. This time it is not Carter Vaughn, as it is in the show. It is Mike. It's not Vonnie, and I miss him. Kind of like when they put in that random, what the fuck was his name, Liam Casey, to talk to Shane at the All-Star game about Rozanov. I was like, where's Scott? Yeah, this is Mike Brophy, a defenseman from Jersey who, doesn't matter, much like Liam Casey. I think that's his name.
His mom disagrees.
His mom disagrees, but I don't care. Is this man gay? No? Okay, I don't care about him. But, on the topic of Carter Vaughn, we don't know if Carter is here. However, January 2017 is where we cross over with Game Changer, the book, because Scott meets Kip January 14th, 2017. And the All-Star game is not mentioned in Game Changer, but since that is typically at the end of January, early February, right, Camille?
Yeah, around the holidays-ish. Yeah.
We, I guess, could assume that he met Kip pre-All-Stars, so, Scott is likely at this All-Star game having just met Kip. So, that's fun. Because Scott does say in Game Changer that he is an 8-time All-Star, 8-time consecutive All-Star. So, I guess we can assume that he is at this All-Star game and that he has just met Kip. So, big things happening.
Isn't it very interesting that Scott is having a conniption about having feelings for this guy? Meanwhile, For years, Shane Hollander has been in the corner like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
I was literally about to point out that it's really funny how the man that's gonna kind of inspire Shane and Ilya to like properly get together and talk about their feelings and like, you know, do his whole coming out publicly as like the first openly queer hockey player. Like he's just now meeting the person who's gonna put him through all that. That's crazy to think about.
And he's
They're very
y'all could have just
insta-love.
done it.
They move in after like a month, 2 weeks. I forget how long.
No,
They're
Scott
like-
and Kip are lesbians, and we love that for them.
Yeah.
U-Haul.
Yeah.
I think that it's really funny that this guy says fucking Hollander and Rosanov, because I'm like, yeah, they do be doing that.
They do be doing that.
They are fucking.
Little does he know.
Love that you clocked
Cool.
that, King. Mike Brophy. Great gaydar.
Do we think Mike Brophy's an ally?
Not with a name like that.
No,
With the name Bro.
Oh yeah, you're right. Bros can't be allies.
So Ilya asks Shane about his new clothes, and Shane's like, can I tell you something without being made fun of?
No,
Really,
it's been
Ilya's-
8 years.
yeah.
Like, you know
Yeah.
that this man is going to make fun of you.
Yeah.
His love language is pissing you off.
His love language is chirping, chirp, chirp. But also, like, Ilya is starting to get back into this groove of kind of flirting with Shane. And, like, the way he's staring at Shane in this scene, like, they're both starting to get more comfortable. And, like, Ilya's starting to kind of pick up on the vibes. So it says that Ilya felt an icy stab of dread in his stomach. He braced himself and said, sure. Ilya waited for the words. I'm seeing someone. I'm engaged. I don't need you anymore. I hired a personal stylist.
No, the engaged is so funny.
It's so-
Bro, they met in November.
He doesn't care. He's thinking every worst case scenario to him.
I mean, I guess we were just talking about Scott and Kip who, like, moved in together
Right.
within, like, after the first date, essentially. So, yeah, I guess we can't really talk. But, like, I don't know. I feel like you know Shane. He knows Shane at this point.
Does he? He knows a version of Shane, but like he's like, oh, this version of him, I don't like.
This version of him just got
off of
up
it.
and
Yeah.
left me.
Yeah, he's like, I don't actually know this version of him, and I've been watching him through social media, and people have been telling me about him, but I haven't been actually speaking to him. I don't actually know
this
Even
changed
it's-
man
yeah.
who's just
Yeah.
walked through the door. I don't know him.
He knows the version of Shane before coming twice while having sex with Rose Landry.
He knows the version of Shane that he fell in love with, and he doesn't know if that is still Shane or not.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
He's also
know.
just he's not used to not being the one in control, or this is like a first for him.
He loans that sexual agency to Shane all the time, and now he doesn't feel like he has any agency at all, and that's really jarring for him because it feels like sand under his feet. Tampa Bay, right? Things are shifting and changing, and the ground is unsteady.
The tides are turning. If you will.
I wanted to highlight the line, I don't need you anymore. Last week we talked about Ilya's internal monologue and how he places Shane into like a role and a box of being something that Ilya uses and then is done with when the sex is over. And now that's like turning around and biting him on the ass. Because now Shane is like, well, I'm done with you. I don't need you anymore. And Ilya's like, oh, fuck.
Right.
Oh, I wasn't planning on that. Shit.
He's like, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ilya asks if, all of this has something to do with Rose, and he notes that Shane is talking about Rose in the past tense.
Interesting. Noticing.
I just love I'm thinking about, sorry, I know we're talking the book, but in the show where he's like, you can tell he's like, so this has nothing to do with Rose Landry. Like, are we finally gonna just ask at this point? Like, come on.
He does finally commit to asking
Yeah.
what we've been dancing around this
Right.
entire time.
Shane, are you committed? And Shane is like, I'm committed to upping my wardrobe game.
And that's it.
That's it.
The only commitment. Because guess what? Shane and Rose are not compatible.
This, and again, this is one of those moments from the show that I thought was done perfectly, because in this moment in the show, Ilya is staring at Shane's lips, and in the book it says Ilya wanted to kiss him.
Kiss him. Yeah, it's perfect. Yeah.
And then when Shane walks away, Ilya has to put a hand over his mouth to hide, like, the dumbass smile that's on his face, which, like, also happens in the show.
We go to the pool.
And you have a pool party.
Yeah, pool party. Mermaid Ilya. It's our first glimpse of Mermaid Ilya. We find out that the league had asked the fans to vote for the all-star team captains, and they chose Shane.
Yeah.
And Shane felt a little embarrassed about it because he's very young, and usually it's like the most senior players who get that honor. But he's been the captain for 2.5 seasons now, and this is his 6th all-star game, and he beat Ilya.
Oh, so it's just hitting me now that the 2 seasons that they won the cup, Shane was captain.
Yeah, this is not this is Shane Hollander.
Shane motherfucking Hollander.
This is Shane motherfucking Hollander.
Did you guys know Shane is good at hockey?
Oh my
Crazy.
god. Wait, so he's gay and he's good at hockey?
That's crazy. And he's
Oh my
Asian?
god, so many
Pick a struggle.
At least he's not autistic. No, I'm not gonna lie. I love how
You should lie.
I love when Hayden says you always play better after you get laid. I was like, is that because he's more flexible because he's loose?
Oh my
Like,
Oh my god.
that's always the thought in my head when I watch that scene. Do we think that we should give Shane a point for being
Yes.
named captain over Ilya?
We should on this tally board. You're right. I missed this one. There's other things that I gave him points for later. I missed this one. You're right, Camille. Ring the Camille is right bell, Robert.
I love that we don't have a soundboard. We have one bell.
We have a
Just the
single
one
bell. So it's 7-5 in favor of Shane right now. Just FYI, in case anyone was wondering. And one of Ilya's points is still better at blowjobs. From the beginning of the book. Just, I have to bring that up every time because it's funny.
Ilya is in the pool with the kids, and if he loses, he's gonna buy them candy. Shane is over on the bench. He's ovulating. He's thinking about how the kids are. I made
Yes.
myself laugh.
I mean, yes. And he's like, isn't his like, he has a thought where he's like, I wonder if he wants kids. He's literally off.
Yeah.
No, actually, the line is he wonders if he's ever thought about getting Shane pregnant. But Shane's like, I wonder if he knows.
I wonder if he'd be interested in getting me pregnant. Okay.
100%, buddy.
I love those memes that are like, it's physically impossible for us to get pregnant. Maybe we're just not trying hard enough.
I know, Ilya's like, I'm trying. I love all the fanfic where someone on the team will just like innocuously say like, you guys can't get pregnant. And Ilya's like, I know. I've tried.
No. Ilya is like, challenge accepted.
R.I.P. Ilya Rozanov, you'd love the Omegaverse.
Do you think Ilya would read Hollanoff fanfic? He probably would.
Absolutely.
I think he
he
would
would.
find it funny.
I think he would actually love that. And he'd read it to Shane, and Shane would be absolutely mortified.
Oh, I know. He'd like have like a spoon or something.
Yeah.
Like, I'm in my
But then
ear.
kind of be into it.
If someone could write fanfic about us and what you think we'd be like, that'd
Nope.
be great. I would love to
Nope.
read that.
I do not do that. No,
Said, "Do not."
RPF is a big fucking no from me. Do not. And this is, I'm laughing, but I'm setting a
not
boundary.
funny,
Don't
yeah.
ever write fanfic about me. I swear to God.
I'm trying-
RPFing has gotta stop, y'all. Okay?
Yeah.
Do not write fanfic about me.
I'm mostly joking, but also what you do on AO3 is between you and God, and I don't need to be
True.
involved. So
And me finding out where you live. Because if you write fanfic about me, I'm gonna lose my shit. But yeah, Shane is thinking about how the kids are laughing so hard that he thinks they're gonna drown. And I personally think that Ilya in the pool with these kids could like run back the clock on someone's menopause. Like, I don't want to say cure menopause because it's not something to cure, but I do think like that this could like solve infertility.
And we do the whole like, Shane, make sure none of these cheaters cheat.
Cheat
He
those
threatens to
cheat.
throw the kid who said Shane is the best player in the league out of Florida. Where's
I
your
love the way
dad?
you
That
worded
whole
that because you're like, he threatens to throw the kid.
Out of Florida.
Just
Throw
threatens to
that kid out.
fucking yeet a kid. Just yote him out.
That's one of
Give
the
it going
lines
to
I was
everyone.
so looking forward to in the show. And I'm glad that they kept like it wasn't like word for word,
But pretty close.
but I'm glad that they kept it because that was one of the lines that I was like, oh my God, the line is going to happen. It's going to happen. And so the race begins. Ilya is racing all of the children and he takes an early lead and then he's attacked by a shark.
I love
Supposedly.
him.
So good.
And when he comes out of the pool, he what?
I know I black
Camille,
out every
it's
time
less
that
funny
happens.
when you do it to yourself.
I think you're laughing, bitch. Fuck off. And Robert is clearly clocked out because Robert didn't laugh.
I mean, I didn't laugh because it wasn't funny.
So when Ilya gets out of the pool, he asks Shane for $10. And Shane wants to flip him off. But then he's like, oh, there's kids here. And I was thinking, people act like Shane is like super innocent, but he is the one who is actually struggling to be appropriate in front of children.
Yeah.
Every time one of them
Yeah.
is struggling, it's Shane.
Shane. Also, Shane drops F-bombs like it's nobody's business.
Yes.
He does.
Fuck
He's like,
you
"Oh,
is
fuck."
literally
Yeah,
like
it's literally
the
his
most
I love
used
you.
word. Yeah.
Yeah, it's his version of I love you. Yeah.
I also love that Shane is like, oh my god, I can't curse because of the children. And I'm like, kids know how to curse.
That kid is going to be in the stands tonight going, fuck Shane Hollander.
Yeah.
Like, be
Yeah.
serious.
Shane Hollander is fucking asshole.
What accent was that?
That was a kid. That was my kid accent.
That was Kid
Shane
Russian.
Hollander's an asshole. Everyone. This is the quote. Ilya hoisted himself out of the pool. Shane's breath caught a little as he watched him make his way over to his chair. His wet swimsuit clung to his thighs and his crotch, and water ran in little rivulets down his chest. When he reached Shane's chair, he shook his head violently so water flew all over Shane's dry clothing. Ah, fuck! Shane stopped himself. Knock it off! Instead, Ilya swooped down and wrapped his arms around him. Shane's eyes went wide. Get off! What the? He was shocked that Ilya would do something this public. Shocked and a little thrilled. I personally would have had a total panic attack. But, like, everybody is laughing. The kids must have thought this was the funniest shit in the world. And Shane is also described as being thrilled. And I'm like, yeah.
I mean, I think it's very like it feels like it is within the realm of like chirping still almost like everybody knows like Rosenau's a little shit. He's gonna mess with you. He's gonna annoy you. Like he's gonna pick. Like this feels like, oh, he's annoying Shane. Ha ha ha. Which is like what he's doing, but he's doing it because he loves him. But people are just gonna see it as like a Rosenov, you know, kind of.
And Shane tries to look annoyed, but his face is flushed and he can't stop grinning. And Ilya straightens and he's standing at his full height, looming over Shane with the sun behind him. Every inch of him was glistening gold. And my note was, Dane Solari, is that you?
What are you referencing, Camille?
Is that Ember Nice? That's Ember Nice, right? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't listen to that because I don't like men.
You're a lesbian.
Yeah.
Surprise! It took every ounce of Shane's willpower to stop himself from reaching out for him. He looked magnificent. Yeah. So Ilya yells to Brophy that he needs $10 because Hollander is a cheapskate. I like that he knows the word cheapskate.
I
He
think
doesn't
that's
know
funny.
the word perceptive, but he knows the word cheapskate.
Yeah. He doesn't know the word compatible, but he does know cheapskate.
The part of me that wants to make things sad, I wonder if that is at all related to, like, his family situation in which they ask him for money and, you know, like, perhaps he knows the money words. I don't know.
I have this vision in my head that someday when they have kids, they're like, Ilya always either acts like he doesn't have his wallet and makes Shane pay or whatever. And so I have this image, this is my own personal headcanon, that Shane will be like, do you have your wallet? And he's like, yep, got it right here. And Shane's like, okay. And Shane will turn around and walk to the car and Ilya's like, whoop, over his shoulder. And then we'll walk out the door.
Ilya just wants to have a sugar daddy, paying for things out of their joint bank account, I would assume. But, like...
God, please get a prenup.
See, now, the thing about getting treated by your significant other with money from the joint account is so fucking real.
That's like when you buy something and you return it to the store and you're like, now I have, it's girl math.
I do have questions about their financial situations because, like, I think, okay, they are being paid more money than, like, any person reasonably needs to live their life. Like, they will both die.
They need more money because Ilya needs more car money.
He needs
More
more
dumb
cars.
Yeah. But see, that's one of the things because I'm like, okay, Ilya has been sending a fuck ton of money to his family back in Russia. Ilya has all these cars. Ilya doesn't have, to our knowledge, quite as many like brand partnerships and whatever as Shane. So I'm like, Shane surely is like
Yes.
double, triple as rich as Ilya, I would imagine.
I
David
would think
Hollander
so.
works for the Treasury Board of Canada. If you don't think that he has made sure that Shane has like diversified and invested, like please
Yeah.
be serious.
Yeah. Also, remember, Shane's used his money to invest in real estate. Like,
He bought a building to hook up with his rival, so
Shane probably has more like liquid assets.
Mhm.
Right. But also, I mean, you better believe once Ilya is in that family officially, Yuna is like, let's sit down, let's take a look at this shit.
Yes.
Immediately. Isn't there a fic where the team is at Shane's place? The centaurs are all at Shane's place. And like Ilya comes into the room and is like, what is happening? And it's Yuna in the kitchen with like a legal pad and a pen, and she's talking to each player and being like, wait, I'm sorry, you made a deal that what?
yes,
And she's like
yes,
going
yes,
through the
I've read this.
details
I've
of
read this.
everybody's of like their contracts, and she's like, oh no, we're gonna fix that.
It's like it's called like the Hollander method or the Hollander standard or something like that.
But basically, yeah, Yuna is like horrified by everybody's financials, and she like busts into this party to sit down and
She
be like,
what?
okay,
Yeah.
tell me
I don't know
about
if
that
it's
wasn't
at a
fun.
part. I thought she like busted into. I mean, the details don't
She
really
what?
matter. Shut the fuck up, Robert.
But yeah, it's great.
It's the Hollander standard by Echo in the Moonlight.
Ilya has moved to right wing in order to play on a line with Shane, which I will say for an all-star game, absolutely. Apparently, obviously, I am a Shane and Ilya do not play on the same line in a regular game truther. Like, I think that would be awful strategy unless you're in overtime or on the power play or the penalty kill, honestly. But he's happy to do it. He's happy to wing Shane because he's been waiting a long time for an opportunity to play with Shane, and playing with him was everything that he had imagined it would be.
And this is dangerously close to complimenting his hockey, but I've decided it does not count until Ilya says it with his mouth to Shane's ears. Narration doesn't count. So it has been 9 years since they met. Not quite. No, because this is the start of 2017.
Yes, it's been 9 years.
They met at the end of 2008.
Oh, 8 years.
So it's been 8 years. It's been 8 years where he has not complimented Shane's hockey.
Get the fuck out!
Ilya did say he would be waiting a long time, and that, yep.
And there's another quote that says he actually felt bad for their left wing line mate Carson because as far as Ilya was concerned, there was no one else on the ice. Hollander could actually keep up with Ilya, and it was like they were reading each other's minds when they passed the puck. They barely had any time to practice together. They just clicked in a way that Ilya never had with any other player. It was exhilarating.
Soulmate shit. Soulmate shit.
And I think that they, I mean, not to be sexy, but they know how each other's bodies work. They know how each other's bodies move. Like they also just as professional rivals have had to study game tape of each other, like obsessively, because they are the ones expected to best the other, right?
Right.
So they know each other very well.
And I mean, I think that's, game tape is also a quote unquote safe and a loud way that they can see each other. Like, the way that you like gaze longingly at like a picture in your locket, you know? I'm gripping my necklace as if it's a locket. It's not. That is Shane and Ilya watching each other's game tape, I feel like. Like, they're just twirling their hair and like watching them play hockey because it's like one of the only ways that they can like lock in and like
It's
really
like, forget
see each
porn.
other.
That's embarrassing. I'm watching game tape, bro.
Yeah.
I am locked in and bricked up
that is literally Shane's version of porn.
watching this game tape. Exactly.
Honestly, like, I'm not gonna yuck their yum because...
No, I get it.
Shane scores off of an assist from Ilya, and then Ilya kisses him on the cheek.
Sports should have more kissing. It really should. Like, my softball team, whenever our pitcher strikes someone out, we kiss them. Usually just, like, I do a little, like, kiss my hand and then, like, smack them on the forehead, but, like, you know, stuff like that. Other teammates, like, actually will grab them and, like, give them a little, like, cheek smooch or head smooch or whatever. I think it's funnier to just be like, smack. But, you know...
I'm a huge fan of that meme version of 10 Dual Commandments where it's like, now kiss your friend on the lips or whatever the fuck it is.
What?
The 10 dual commands. Number 1, you shake your opponent's hand, then give him a kiss and tell him that he's grand. Number 2, wave your guns high in the air, then kiss him again to show him you care. Number 3, now this next step is the hardest. Kiss him on the lips, but don't be too modest. Number 4, next step, load up your guns, kiss him again, the next part is fun.
Robert, I've never heard this in my life. What the fuck?
Dude, this is a meme?
It's the whole 10 dual commandments, but it's just kiss him.
Love that.
You know what? Hell yeah. Also, by the way, this was Shane's 4th goal of the game.
God
Insane,
damn it.
insane to drop that casually.
Did you guys know that Shane's really good at hockey?
And he's gay.
No.
Lore drop. And he's gay. And he's Asian.
No, but like Robert and I feel like every hockey, like women's hockey game we've been to, neither team is scoring 4 points, period.
That being said, one of the Sirens games we went to, they scored 6 goals.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I watched game 1 between the Wild and the Avalanche recently, and I swear to God, at first I was like, yeah, let's fucking go, Avs! And then they scored twice. And then shit got insane. And I was just sitting there going, this isn't playoffs hockey. And like there were people who were very new to hockey on threads that I was seeing, and they were like, oh, this is playoff hockey, let's go. No. The score ended 9-6. And I was like, what the fuck is going on out here?
That's a lot of goals.
This is insane. What the fuck is happening out here? Like, stop. It was too many.
Yeah.
I literally got to the point, we were halfway through the second, tied 5-5. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Do any of you know how to play hockey? I'm so confused.
Nope.
9-3? That's crazy.
And I think only one player scored twice. So, like,
That's wild.
you're telling me 14 goals were scored by different people? 14 players
Was
scored?
the goalie on a break?
Like, what the fuck? Well, yes,
he
for the
retired
last
and
couple,
came back?
yes. It was empty net at the end, and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
yeah.
So this is where I really noticed that like this chapter blends the last name versus like first name use a lot. And so they started doing it more after tuna melts. Like the entire rest of that scene, they're calling each other by first names, both in narration, like, and, well, not really out loud, because they kind of don't talk after that. Shane just kind of leaves. But, like, in their narrations, they're calling each other by first names. And then it's a little more kind of everywhere in the Rose chapters, where Ilya is calling him Shane more than Shane is calling him Ilya, but Shane kind of loosens up as the chapters go and like starts calling him Ilya more as it like ends. It's interesting to see, but like here you almost see them sort of reach it is Shane and Ilya personally, and when we are talking about hockey, we are still Hollander and Rosenov. So like when we're talking about how we're playing in this All-Star game, we are referring to each other as Hollander and Rosenov, but then when we talk about like each other as people, we are Shane and Ilya. And I think that is kind of a trend that they continue as they, you know, move on in this relationship. And so just like watching it develop, I'm like, aw.
They're settling into
Yeah.
everyday intimacy, into like everyday, like, okay, we're not just each other's bad habit.
Yeah, we're on first name basis here. We can be first name basis here. That's fine.
They're both blushing after Ilya kisses Shane on the cheek, but Ilya thinks he did it because he couldn't help it. He had an opportunity, and he had to take it. And I think that this plays in so well with, like, the long game Ilya, of having that moment of, like, if I have an opportunity to touch him or show affection for him in front of other people, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I'm taking it from behind. Sorry.
Well, yes.
After the game, Shane is just hanging out on the beach by himself. But it's noted that a bunch of the players go to a Mexican restaurant that's supposedly like the best in town. And I had the thought in my head, is this the same Mexican restaurant that Bood takes everybody to in Role Model?
That's
'Cause
crazy.
Bood
did not connect.
reserves a bunch of tables for everybody in Role Model. And I was like, is this the same
Dude,
Mexican
it's
restaurant?
probably the same.
Is this based on a real Mexican restaurant in Tampa? Rachel,
It might
please.
be. Well, dude, does anyone know on record how much time Rachel has spent in Tampa Bay?
He just needed an hour or so to himself. The weekend had been challenging for a lot of reasons. He had tried to keep some distance between himself and Ilya, both because he couldn't trust himself not to touch him in some telling way, and also because the media was so obsessed with the two of them playing together despite hating each other that he didn't want to give them any fuel. And, he supposed, he didn't want to change the narrative either. The rivalry was good for the league, good for their careers, and most importantly, it was a very good cover for the truth.
Shane, always so concerned with the image. Always so concerned.
I'm in love with this man, but if you ask me, I hate him.
I'm in love with this man, but that's not good for the league, so
Right.
it's whatever the league wants.
He's like, so it's gonna be a secret. That's great.
And here's the thing about Shane, is that he's Shane Hollander, and he's so aware of the fact that he is Shane Hollander. However, he moves into this idea and this hope that he will fade into obscurity enough that he can date Ilya. And I'm like, buddy,
But you're Shane Hollander.
but you're Shane Hollander. You know that. And you've known that from the beginning. It's why you haven't done anything. And suddenly you think you're going to be able to fade into obscurity? Bestie, come on.
No, I mean, like Shane Hollander in this universe, I feel like is a name that is going to be like a Wayne Gretzky type, like a name that even people who don't follow hockey know.
Who?
You don't know Wayne Gretzky, Robert?
I'm joking.
Okay.
I'm
I was gonna say.
Good old WG.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
You know.
Sidney Crosby. Everyone knows him.
Yeah.
So Ilya finds Shane on the beach, tells him that he's looked up the word compatible. Just wanted to be sure that he understood. He thought he knew what it was, but wanted to double
Wanted
check.
to be sure.
And they, we find out that they're both going to fly out early. Shane is going to Columbus, Ilya is going to Toronto.
And Shane makes sure to note that Ilya pronounces the second T in Toronto, which just feels very Canadian to me.
We know from our favorite Canadian Norris that they say Toronto, like CHRONNO, Toronto.
Like one small word, Toronto.
Toronto. But yeah, he says Toronto. And then it says, without warning, Ilya moved his hand until it was right next to Shane's, and then he hooked their thumbs together. Shane's first instinct was to pull away, but he resisted. Instead, he closed his eyes and tried not to hope for impossible things. He also resisted the urge to rest his head on Ilya's shoulder. And my note just says, God, ugh, fuck!
No, when he's trying not to hope for impossible things. I was like, baby,
yeah,
baby,
line.
it's not. Baby, it's not. It's not. You can do it. I'm gonna cry right now.
It's not it's with like outside of the realm of possibility for Shane's brain. Shane at this place in his life.
The way that he wants to rest his head on Ilya's shoulder is crazy. Like, it's not that this has changed, right? It's just that Shane is actually allowing himself to want these things now.
Mm-hmm. And like acknowledge it internally.
And he's like, I'd like to rest my head on his shoulder. That's an urge that I have to fight now, because I just want to do it.
And then Shane asks for his room number, which is 1217, because he wants to talk privately. And I enjoy that, you had Ilya asking for Shane's room number for the first hookup, and then you have Shane asking for Ilya's number for the not quite a DTR conversation, define the relationship, but it's the first step.
DTS, define the sexuality.
Define
Shane's sexuality.
Define the sexuality. That's this conversation.
Yeah, it's tides turning.
If anyone is imagining, like, every time I've imagined this scene, I'm really confused about the thumbs hooking, because I'm like, they're not on the right side.
Yeah, how do you...
But if Ilya puts his hand on the other side
like a
of Shane's hand,
crisscross.
right, exactly. If they crisscross their wrists, then they can hook thumbs.
Pinkies is more intimate. I want pinkies.
Or if they are sitting with their hands turned backwards, like the inside of your wrist forward, then their thumbs are against each other. So that's how that could happen.
I didn't even think about it. I'm not paying attention to what their bodies are doing. I'm just kind of like, well...
Robert, how are you feeling? I want to check in with you now that we've had the tide starting to turn. How are you feeling post chapter 16?
Can these bitches define the relationship already, please and thank you?
No.
No, then the story would be over.
Yeah, that's the plot.
I know, but like, can we get to the point of the plot where they define the relationship and stop being dumb fucking bitches?
You want this to be a 17-chapter book story?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Robert's like, I only like my queer hockey in novella form, actually.
They do have a very complicated, like, honestly, this is the most complicated of the relationships in this series. Like, they have kind of the most to work out and figure out just based on who they are. So, like, yeah, it makes sense why they are gonna have 3 fucking books about them.
All right, well, chapter 17.
Still January 2017, still Tampa Bay. We get a nice sort of parallel to Shane's, because in the last chapter we had Shane kind of being like, I'm more sure what I want, but I really don't know what Ilya wants. And now we have Ilya standing in his hotel room thinking like, does Shane really want to talk to me? Is this code for something else like it's always been before? Like, has he also felt this shift in our relationship? Is he trying to break up with me? Or I guess, is he trying to break things off? Is he trying to lean into it? Like, and then Ilya's like, or maybe he doesn't know what he wants because I sure as fuck don't.
And I think that Ilya is definitely sure of what he wants, but like the confidence that he usually has behind it is gone because he doesn't know what Shane wants. They've always been on the same page, is that Ilya's like, we both want sex. But now Ilya's like, I don't know is there something that we both want anymore? Or are we misaligned?
Right. And I think also Shane has sort of, his whole journey has been like accepting his sexuality. Like, so much of his issues here has been like, I'm not gay, I'm gonna meet the right woman and it's gonna fix me. And now he's sort of been forced to face that and sort of overcome that, at least partially. And so he's in a very different place, having faced sort of his biggest hang-up. But I think Ilya's biggest hang-up is still like the Russia of it all. Like, I think a relationship meaning more to each other than like just sex feels more impossible to Ilya than it does to Shane, because there is more stuff that he like hasn't addressed and like can't really address because Russia.
I could not go back to Russia. Now, okay, this is such a huge turning point for this book, because this is like, we're finally going to talk. We're finally going to voice what we want outside of sex, and they're not great at it. But they're not
so
running away
they're
from
so
it.
bad at
So
it.
bad at it.
But they're not running away from it, and that's why this is so massive and important, is they both are like, oh, this is really uncomfortable and we're not good at talking, but we're gonna do it anyway. Like, this is evolution. This is so vitally important to their relationship moving forward, is having this interaction. And like, yes, we have sex too, but it's not like we rushed in and immediately had sex. We're gonna have a really difficult conversation first, and the sex comes after, right? There's the heartbreaking quote. He also knew that what they both wanted probably didn't matter anyway. Ilya wished they could go for a walk or something, a moonlit stroll on the beach. He was tired of hotel rooms.
I'm so fucking sad for them.
Killing myself.
Jar.
Damn it.
$5.
We've had like 4 instances of Jar that no one's pointed out.
Today, yeah.
Yeah.
Today?
Yeah.
Yes.
I definitely.
There have
Oh,
been like
really?
There have been like 3 separate times that Camille said, I'm going to kill myself, and no one said anything.
Camille, you owe the jar $20. I have not noticed a single one. Am I a bad friend?
We should have a button on our profile where you can like go and give us $5. Like, you can donate to the jar, and then we'll donate that. We'll turn it around and donate it.
That's perfect.
So when Shane texts Ilya to say that he's there, Ilya, it says that he opens the door immediately. Like, he's not risking shit. He's not playing games. He's not making Shane wait or panic or anything like that. Like, no. This is not the first All-Star or the first All-Stars game with, is there a ghost out there? Is someone chasing you? No. Immediately opens the door. And I almost think that that's because the stakes are higher, because there are feelings now. I'm not fucking around because I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or scare you.
But even then, I will say, it's funny to see Ilya still try to like maintain some semblance of, he's like, maybe I can be like, where he's like, oh, this looks serious, like, haha, can this please not be serious for a second, where it's like he's still trying to hold back a little bit, because he's like, I know whatever is about to come is going to change things, and that's scary.
It is very scary. And so this is another thing that like translated pretty 1-to-1, like book to screen. Is kind of wild to read this back. You know, Shane comes in, sits on the bed, asks if Ilya feels it too, that like last time was so different. Ilya tries to pretend that he doesn't know what Shane is talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a quote here. Ilya shrugged and looked away. He knew it was the wrong reaction, but he felt a horrifying swell of emotion that he couldn't let Shane see.
You can let him see the emotion, buddy. It's okay. You guys like each other.
Yeah.
That's what.
But we can't admit that. We can't admit that.
No. And they're both kind of being snippy at each other.
Yeah.
Instead of just like saying what they feel.
Mm-hmm.
And Ilya says his "we get together, we fuck" is simple. Shane calls bullshit. Shane says, "I think I'm gay."
Ding, 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 ding.
Now, listen.
Yeah, that's also Shane is right, Belle.
Good job, Shane. Now, okay.
Correct answer.
Now, we have had this discussion on the podcast before when we talked
Okay.
about the scene in the show.
Okay.
But I will say,
Is this where we're going to disagree, Camille?
this is one of them. This is one of
Okay.
them.
I don't want to say that, like, Ilya's reaction here bothers me because, it doesn't. It's not that I wish that it was different. But I also, like, it makes me feel so sad for Shane. Because up until this point, he has not said the words, "I am gay." This is the first time he is saying those words. And it's not treated as, like, this big, like, the big thing that it is. Because, like, it is a big thing to say those words for the first time, especially when, and I think this is, like, me projecting myself onto Shane, because like I've said, Shane Hollander and we're the same. We both did the, like, I might be bi. I'm going to meet the right person of the, like, respectable gender for me to be in love with, and it's gonna fix me, and it won't matter that I am having these gay thoughts. And I think, like, you spend so long doing that, like, knowing, like, okay, I'm queer, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll fix myself, and I'll get in a straight relationship, and it's fine. And so, like, the like, finally admitting, like, I'm gay. I'm fully gay. Like, that is a big thing. And, like, I wish that Shane could have, like, I don't know. Like, I wish it could have been treated as a bigger thing.
What do you wish Ilya would have said?
I don't know.
What would have been the
laughing.
appropriate response?
I don't know. I don't know what would have been the appropriate response. I don't know that there would have, like, I don't know that I can even conceptualize a different response. Like, I don't even know that I necessarily even think Ilya's response is wrong. I'm just like, it also makes me sad for Shane. Like, I don't know.
I think that's totally valid. And I do think it goes back to, like, what we were saying, what I was just saying, where Ilya's still desperately trying to, like, not have this conversation because he's so not at the point. And kind of going back to what we said, like, Shane's now had his come to Jesus moment to a degree, you know, to the degree where he now feels like, oh, I've accepted this about myself, and now I can find a version of this that works for me moving forward. I'm, you know, free to that degree. Ilya at this point is like, now is the, like, actually when he's like, I can, like, whatever version of this relationship that existed before can no longer exist moving forward.
Yeah.
And I'm aware of that. And Shane, God bless his soul, is not really fully aware of that. Because he's having his moment of, like, okay, I'm gay and I have this person who I really like. And so how can I make this work for me in my world? Like, how does this work for me now moving forward? And so he's ready to have that conversation. That's a wonderful thing for Shane. But I think Ilya being a little bit of a dick is, like, it's really unfortunate for him to be like, okay, so you're gay, so what? It's like, funny delivery, but not, like, funny. Yes, it is his big, I'm gay moment. But I think they're both at such different, even though this is a big turning of the tides, like we've said a million times, moment in their relationship, and it's the first time, yeah, and it's the first time they're actually talking about things, or their feelings, so to speak. They're still at such different places, which is so apparent the further we go along the story, and going into the long game, where it's, like, really, really apparent that they're like, oh, they're at totally different stages and spaces. So I get what you're saying, where you're like, I just wish it was, like, a little kinder, because this is a big moment.
I mean, I don't necessarily, like, I don't think he means it in a malicious way, because, you know, you get the joke that's like, the last time you had my dick in your mouth, like, I thought you might be a little gay. But then Shane kind of clarifies, and he's like, okay, but, like, you're not gay. Like, you're not all the way
Right.
gay. It's
Right.
different.
Right.
And Ilya still, like, doesn't back off and realize, like, what he's saying.
Yeah. And then when he gets pushed that way, and then he's like, because I'm because of Russia, like he yells at him.
I can't imagine that if I were in this scenario that I wouldn't be tempted to laugh. If I had been having sex with you for 7 years now, and you looked me dead in the face and said, I think I might be
think I'm
gay.
He's like,
No fucking
okay.
shit, dude.
welcome to the real world.
Whoa! Whoa!
Okay, like, objectively, it is
It is funny.
hilarious
Yeah, it is
to
objectively
come out
funny.
as gay to the
I know.
man you've been having gay sex with for the last 7 years. Like, yes, that is
Objectively pretty
very funny. Very
Not
funny.
of- yeah, but
it's not even the
serious
original.
moment. Yeah.
I'm realizing, like, as we're talking about this, it's not even, like, the initial, like laughing, because, like, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Right.
But it's the fact that, like, even as Shane, like, clarifies, like, Ilya never really recognizes that this is a big moment.
I think he acknowledges it, and he's like, but I'm sorry to say this doesn't matter, because this isn't, like, we can't go that, like, I cannot accept that, I cannot accept that reality.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm so glad that you're here, even though I'm making fun of you, but, like, that's not a reality for me. Like, you get to go home and tell your parents, hey, literally, why are you telling me this? Like, why are you bringing this to me?
Ilya does not get to define
Sad.
his sexuality in this book. Because for
Yeah.
him, that's a bridge that he can't
Right.
run back over. Like, he can't do that. And that's part, people complain about not saying bisexual in this book. That's important, though, that he doesn't say that. Because he can't say that. Because he can't label it. He literally tells Shane, well, I think we'll end up coming back to it, because it's another point of, like, disagreement, maybe.
I'm also thinking about the part towards and where Shane's basically like, I can't keep pretending that I don't like you anymore. Shane's like, I'm done doing that. And Ilya's like, okay, well, good for you. Yeah, and he's like, well, you don't like me. And it's so sad. And he's like, you're saying you're not, worth it? I think Shane says for him or something.
Mm-hmm.
Which is so fucking sad.
Mm-hmm. Now, also, give me a moment here to make an argument, okay? Because and again, this was your note, you were saying he doesn't see this as being a big deal for Shane. And my note was literally, oh, I disagree. Because I think Ilya's on the defense right now. He doesn't know what Shane wants. And he literally says, why are you telling me this? Because he still does not know what's happening right now. But I will say, the peace offering, right? After this happens, they have this little bit of a tiff. He opens the fridge and he gets Shane a ginger ale. And then he sits next to him, shoulder to shoulder.
He does.
He does. Yeah, the minute he sits on that bed, he's like, he bridges that gap, kind of.
It's like, let's sit down and have a drink about this immediately afterwards. It's not even like they argue for 10 minutes or something. It's like immediately after this little tiff, Ilya's like, God damn it. Okay, let's have a drink. Let's just sit. Because if you're trying to run away from a conversation, you don't give someone a drink. You don't serve them something. And also, if it's just a hookup, you don't serve them something. I think that is a very small gesture that signifies. I also like the fact that Ilya presumably knew that there was ginger ale in the fridge. He didn't stock it himself. Like, that would just be like the bar was stocked in his hotel room. He's a millionaire. Of course, he's gonna have a nice hotel room, right? But presumably he knew that ginger ale was in there, or he could have requested it. Who knows? But he was like, all right, let's bring it down a little bit. Let's have, let's get some drinks. Let's sit down. Let's talk.
I like the idea of him, like, getting one from downstairs and bringing it up, knowing that Shane would want one later.
I am fully willing to admit that it is probably me projecting myself onto Shane, as I am known to do. And
What?
perhaps I'm being a little... What? Me? Really? Project myself onto Shane Hollander? Who? What? Would never. And I perhaps am being a little unfair to Ilya, but I do think that this scene kind of emphasizes the way that they are not good at communicating yet. And I think this is something that they continue to grow. Like, they are constantly learning how to react to each other and how to communicate with each other. And, like, this conversation is rough because they are both bringing these, like, huge things that are, like, huge for their individual selves, and it's like, how do we get these things to mesh? And they are
It's
like
the
not
first time they're
meshing.
talking, actually.
Yeah, like we're sort of, instead of like coming together here, we're sort of just colliding, but it's like a collision that needs to happen, you know, in order to get where we need to go.
I don't 100% remember what I said when we covered the episode, but I think my current thoughts are Ilya funny, but also Ilya being funny the same way I would be funny to protect himself.
I think that it's unnamed, but that Ilya probably feels some jealousy here. That Shane gets to come out, and Ilya's like, good for you. Cool. Like,
Yeah.
because there is later, he says that he can't be gay or anything close to it. And so let's hold off on that and we'll come back to this. But I do want to say that, like, I want to validate, yes, like when you say maybe this is just me projecting onto Shane, I want to say, yes, I think that is very much the case, but I don't want to say, I'm not trying to say that in a mean way.
Yeah, like a dismissive way.
You're projecting
Right.
affectionate. You're not projecting derogatory.
Yeah, and
That's
I'm
what
not
art
saying,
is for. That's what
I'm not
we
even
do
necessarily
with art.
saying that like Ilya is in the wrong here. I'm just saying it like makes me feel kind of sad for Shane. Like that's all I'm saying.
You should feel sad for Shane here.
Yeah, I mean, I think
You should
I
feel
feel
sad
sad.
for both.
I feel sad for both of them. I
Yeah,
really do.
Sad for both. Yeah, definitely.
There's actually a moment in the long game that I keep thinking about where Shane meets Fabian Salah and is like, I didn't really ever consider myself a gay man because I'm not gay like this. And the line is literally something how he's like, I've been in a relationship, a gay relationship with a man having gay sex regularly for years, and I'm still not like this kind of gay.
Mm-hmm. There's not one way to be gay.
Right. And that's why Shane needs more queer friends. Anyway.
Shane has a lot of growing to do.
In a lot of areas. Actually, Shane Hollander's never done anything wrong in his life, and I will defend him till the day I die. Defending Shane Hollander is not enough. Defending Shane Hollander online is not enough. I need a fucking gun! Actually, a gun is not even strong enough.
So wrong, Mom. Donnie's New York?
I need a weapon of mass destruction.
Okay. W and D mention on the pod. Define the relationship? No. Weapons of mass destruction.
Define the sexuality. That's what we determine this is.
Mm-hmm. And Ilya tells Shane that he's probably not the only gay NHL player, and Shane says, I know. And I'm like, yeah, he's right next door. God,
I don't know if he's right
stop
next door,
her.
but
He's right
he
next door.
has
right next door.
He has met the man that he is going to kiss on Center Ice in just a few months.
Good God. So we have the whole conversation, which is, we can't be more. Would you want to be more if we could? We can't be. That's not what I asked. The whole conversation. And so...
My father is police. My brother is police. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out the fact that would you want to be if we could is a very intense question from Shane.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy out the gate. Once again, Shane got told that he was gay, and he's like, all bets are off. I'm asking all the questions. Yeah, literally.
Have you ever thought about getting me pregnant?
No, I love that Shane has been denying this thing about himself for years. And the second someone else clocked it, he went, oh, thank God. Okay.
No, literally.
Now I'm gonna be the gayest motherfucker you've ever seen. I'm going to get my man.
He has the long-term plan. That's how he works. He's thinking long-term. Man with a plan.
I will kick it back at Shane and say that when Ilya says that he can't be gay or anything close to it, Shane laughs at him.
Yeah,
He does.
that is true.
His literal life is at stake here, Shane, but sure. We're even, And that's why we like these stories, is they're imperfect characters, because if they were perfect, it would be boring.
Right.
So, lore drop is that Ilya's mother is dead, and Ilya says that he was young, and he waves a hand as if his mother's death was of no consequence to him, which was far from the truth. He then mentions that he has a stepmother, that she is very young for his father, and that his mother was also very young for his father. And he says that his father wasn't easy to live with. He's set in old ways. He's strict. His brother Andre is much like him, and now his father is sick. And Shane says, sick like cancer? Does everybody watch that scene and go, Shane, shut up! Stop guessing!
I'm sorry. The delivery of those lines makes me laugh. And it's not a funny scene at all. When Shane says that and then Ellie goes, no, dementia. Like, the delivery makes me laugh every time, and it's like the most unfunny scene. But it's just so point blank. Like
It's so, and the thing is, I think that, okay, a lot of people watch it and they go, ooh, awkward, bad acting. And I'm like, no, it's supposed to
No.
be awkward. This is an
Yeah.
intense conversation. It's
They are
supposed to make you feel
bad at
awkward.
talking. They're
They're
bad at talking. That's the whole thing.
By the way, this is one of the very first scenes that they shot.
Crazy that they had this much like chemistry with one of the most intense scenes filmed first, or like almost first.
Is it RPF to say that it's also soulmate shit? And I mean that in like a platonic way.
No,
like, I think,
because Connor has
because
said
they've
they're
said
soulmates.
that. Yeah, because they've said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
Yeah.
so fucking good together.
That article that said that they were at the after party for the Met and that they were holding court until the wee hours of the night
They like shut it
under
down,
a
of
waning
course.
gibbous moon. I was like, what the fuck? What is this? What is this? It's beautiful.
No, I gotta say, the like pictures and videos and stuff of them returning to their hotels in like the early hours of Tuesday morning.
Sunrise.
I was
Tuesday.
like, fuck you, because that is exactly what it looks like when I am commuting to work, and I'm like, you guys were doing that shit when I was on my way to work. Fuck you. Fuck you. You're coming home from the fucking Met Gala the same time that I have to go to my job. I was like, why are we all commuting in Manhattan right now together, but also like very differently?
But anyway, Ilya tells Shane that his father has Alzheimer's, and Shane says, I'm sorry. And then it says, Ilya nodded. There, now someone knew.
Ouch.
My note was open heart surgery in a Tampa Bay hotel room.
Oh, God. God. Oh. Yeah, the now someone knew is like, oh.
And it's interesting because like the internal monologue kind of pits it like, oh, Shane's gay. He told me, let me tell him something traumatic about my life. My
We're
dad's
all
dying.
just sharing shit that we've never said before.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
God.
He's like, hey, we're both Olympians. It's the trauma Olympics. Whose is worse?
And I mean, Ilya's is worse.
Without a doubt.
Someone give this guy a break. Jesus Christ.
And a Zoloft. Shane asks, well, your dad must be proud of you. You're a superstar. And Ilya's like, he didn't want me to leave. He wanted me to stay in Russia. And then Ilya says, I love my country, but I could not stay there. And Shane says, it would have made my life a lot easier.
Shane!
It is crazy. That's the only time we ever hear Ilya speak about Russia
in a positive way. And I have something to say about that. So,
Floor is yours.
I love my country, but I could not stay there. It feels very important and very prescient in this moment. Keep in mind that this is, 2017. We talked recently about how there was some fucked up shit going on in the US when these gay boys was falling in love. But there are a lot of us who love our countries, but we know that we're not fully welcome in them or welcome at all in them. That's, Americans, Russians, and we actually heard from a listener about how they find fandom really hard to engage with, specifically because of where they are, but they are not supportive of their government.
We don't choose where we're born.
Exactly. This moment, I wanted to hone in on this for a bit because there are so many of us who feel that way.
I mean, I grew up in Texas. I'm from Texas, red state. Every time a hurricane hits in Texas, people are like, well, we shouldn't help because this is what they voted for. And I'm like, do you know how many people of color, how many, like, people who are on the ground every single day trying to fight the shit that our government is doing, like, in these southern states? Like, no, like, there is so much more nuance in the world than people want to, like, recognize. Like, people want things to be a very easy black and white, and almost nothing is. Like, you have to kind of take things and really look at them at, like, I get so exhausted with the internet because it feels like everything is so, like, black and white, and, like, we cannot accept anything that even slightly deviates from like exactly what, like, people want us to think. And it's like, that's
I mean, in the past, so as of when we're recording this week, look at what happened in Tennessee. Our representatives just eliminated the only black majority district in Tennessee. They have redistricted our state so that every single district is a Republican district. The black majority has been broken, And if you look at the districts on the map right now, you can literally look at it and tell where Nashville is, because Nashville is now suddenly represented by 3 different districts split into pieces so that we cannot get a majority. So when people say things like, don't visit Tennessee, you are harming all of the queer people, the people of color, everybody who has a life here in Tennessee. Nashville is historically Democratic. The metropolitan area is historically Democratic. It won't be anymore. And that's not the voters' fault. That's because someone is playing with our lives and making it impossible to win. So, I know that that is not necessarily book related. However, this is the importance of books and nuance. This is not the romanticizing of Russia.
Yeah, I have seen people say that a lot. That, like, Heated Rivalry romanticizes Russia just because there is a character that is Russian. Right. And that is not the case.
And I just want to say, shut the fuck up, listen and think before you speak.
And, like, you're not morally superior because of where you were born. Like, if you were lucky enough to be born in a place that aligns with your values and, like, you...
Good for you!
...should be doing the work to support those that weren't. And I think a lot of us on social media need to log out and we need to touch grass instead of yelling about things that don't matter.
But I just want to say, like, if you tell everybody who disagrees with a certain government to leave and go somewhere else, then you will never change that space. If you don't have the blue dots, you can't turn it blue. If the blue dots all leave for a blue state, that's when you get more and more red, and you consolidate all the way down, and then you have this many states voting this way and this doing this, and it's like, well, congratulations, now we're all fucked. Back to the book.
Yeah, let's talk about some gay hockey players, please, instead of the state of the world, because whoo, what a downer.
I'm kind of obsessed with how they have this really, really difficult conversation, and then Ilya is sitting on the floor across from Shane, looking at him, and he's just like, hey, you're fucking beautiful.
Yeah, he's like, you look really fucking good. I do think it's so interesting. I know we're talking about the book, how the show changed, like, Ilya crying, that doesn't happen in the
lap hug.
Yeah, and so tonally the shift into this, like...
I think that it's, this is where this is the moment where Jacob Tierney very intentionally picks up the pace and starts the real work of, like, adapting, is that he's like, okay, I have 6 episodes. And a lot of people are saying, you know, how are you going to fit the long game into 6 episodes? And I'm like, baby, because he did this.
Right.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's been saying some things that make me think maybe he's not gonna put the long game in 1 season. I trust Jacob Tierney with my life, and whatever he decides to do, I will consume with open arms. So, like, I'm like, I don't care if it is not all of the long game. I hope that our entire predictions episode is wrong if that's what Jacob so chooses. You know?
We're not worthy! Now, but this incredible quote is, Ilya gave in and reached for him. As soon as he had Shane in his arms, he was done for. He leaned forward and took his mouth. It felt different this time, as he wrapped his arms around Shane's back and pulled him close against his body. Shane's hands cradled Ilya's face as he kissed him with the force of everything they had almost said out loud. And I'm like, say it out loud!
Say it out loud.
For the love of God!
Hey,
say it.
Hey, did you guys know that they have sex here after this conversation?
Yeah, you were the only one. I'm sorry to say.
No, and, like, after I said that with my full chest, did you leave that in the episode? Okay, thank God. Because I, like, said that with my full chest and you guys were like, no, they absolutely do. And then I, like, watched...
naked.
No, I watched it back. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? They very clearly had sex. So, yeah,
To be fair, though, in the show, it's the first time we're, like, fully don't get... It's the first time It's the first time we fully don't... Like, we don't get the full sex scene, to be fair.
Yes, exactly. I'm just so used to them showing me, and then sometimes cutting away, and then cutting back to showing me, that I was like, if they're not showing me full ass, they must not be fucking.
If the moon is not out?
And the moon's not out, there's no wolf.
Now, cuddles. I love, again, Rachel Reid. What happened in Tampa Bay? Because we always get such good cuddles in Tampa Bay with everybody. Everybody gets good cuddles in Tampa Bay. What the fuck? And so Shane is playing with Ilya's crucifix. And I read this in a previous episode, I think. He says, "Are you religious or do you just wear this?" And Ilya says, "I don't go to church anymore." And Shane asks if he believes in God. Ilya says, "Yes, I think so." And then it says, Shane didn't reply. He just considered this information. "You think that is silly?" Ilya asked. No, I'm just surprised, I guess. This is also a massive moment because the last time they snuggled, Shane was like, "This is bad, this is wrong, this is not good, this is too tender, this is dangerous." And he runs away because he's scared of it and because he wants it. He's scared of it because he wants it, right? But this time, he's like, snuggles.
I also enjoy when a queer character is depicted as believing in God,
Yes.
because I feel like a lot of times that's sort of shown as like something that is separate and something that like cannot coexist, and I think it is important that it does, because there are a lot of kids like me who grew up with like religion and God being very important, and then all of a sudden like realize things about themselves that seemed kind of contrary to
Like identity. Like, yeah, you can't be.
I was about to call it a club. That's not the like religion is a club, and I am no longer
Kind
welcome.
of.
No, kind of. Yeah, like they're kind of basically like queer people can believe in God, and like that is allowed.
Newsflash.
And I
allowed.
feel like
Me.
my personal relationship with faith is kind of similar to Ilya's. Like I don't go to church anymore, but like I think so. I think I believe in God still, but also like I don't know where the space for me is in church right now, and like that's okay. So this I like this a lot.
I wish we would have gotten this in the show. I get why we didn't, because like it's not a necessary.
I think that we could get it in season 2. I know there's a lot that has to happen, but
we also haven't gotten the next bit where Ilya tells him that the crucifix is his mother's.
Yeah.
Within the lore of the show, that cross could have come from anywhere.
Could have come from anywhere. It could have come from anywhere.
I also, as a queer religious person, I think that a lot of media that we see these days, it's almost like, of course they don't believe in God. That's a given. And I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, I think it's interesting and it's real and it's part of the story. So why the assumption, like excluding that, is.
So I like to see that Ilya's like, yeah, I think so. And it's not that he's like, no, I just wear it because it was my mom's, or like, yes, of course I'm religious. Is that he's like, he does have that struggle with it of like, yeah, I think so. And then he points out like, Shane, you would think that if you put your right skate on before your left skate, you're gonna play a bad game. But it's weird that I'm religious. And Shane's like, but that's science.
That's different. That's science.
If that's science, Shane, we need to do like the scientific method. You need a peer-reviewed study or two, or like a dozen.
But I was thinking about the fact that it's never said that like Ilya wears his crucifix because of superstition or anything. He just wears it. And also, he has never played an NHL hockey game without that crucifix on. But it's not superstition. It is his religion, it's his mother, it's important to him. It's not a superstition. It is just a personal thing. And I think that is when, yeah, exactly. I think that it's important that there are things about them that they cling to that are not just written off as superstition and the sport, you know? Now, Ilya tells Shane that it was his mother's, and Shane is like, do you want to talk about your family or anything at all? And Ilya very importantly says, no, not tonight. So it's not no, it's just not tonight, which is the same as Shane's not here.
Which, you know, we love the communication. Guys, they're communicating outside of sex. Wait a minute.
No one has their dick out.
Notice, they did have sex, and then the communication gets a little better. So, I'm just saying, the sex is key.
This is specifically where Jacob Tierney really started to condense the story, because Shane says, you know, you can talk to me about anything instead of being on the phone in Russia. He says that here. We have that conversation here. So Shane wonders if Ilya feels the heaviness of the aftermath of their encounters, the impossibility of everything. Shane felt it every time. The whole point of their hookups was to provide release, but Shane only felt more tangled up each time.
Fuck.
No shit, buddy.
I hate it!
Shane says that he should go. Ilya asks him to stay. Shane says that he can't, but he loves that Ilya is asking. And there is so much progress being made here because Ilya asks when he's going to have him for as long as he wants. And Shane says as soon as possible.
Yeah, crazy that
And then, which is crazy, and then Ilya says, after I win the cup, we should go somewhere. And I'm like, oh my god!
You said,
What's
we're going on
happening?
vacation?
Oh my god!
I'm thinking, like, the lesbian instincts of these men in these books should be studied, because that's, like... I mean, I guess they've been fucking for, like, 7 years, so it's not really quite like Scott and Kim, but it's like, okay,
Not at
you
all.
just came out to this man as gay, and now you're like, what if we went on a trip? What if we went somewhere and we spent this time together? And it's like,
They were doing
Guys, you've never done
COVID
this
relationship dynamics before COVID even happened. Social distancing, but maybe we'll go on a vacation together and then get stuck forever. This was very, I was thinking about the long game and them in Tampa Bay and how they, All-Star Weekend to All-Star Weekend, right? The next one that we get is in the long game, and they are having sex in a hotel room. But in the long game, Shane actually does stay the night. And he's like, not saying I'm not terrified. And Ilya's like, I know, but I'm glad you're staying. And this is the growth that we go through to get to the point where, yes, we're terrified. But as long as Cliff Marlowe actually thinks it's multiple women in here and not just Shane Hollander.
God.
Fucking legend. Okay.
insane behavior, that one.
Shane tells Ilya he is not winning that cup, and then is like, where the fuck are we supposed to go? The moon?
No, they got cameras up there too.
And Shane says no, all it takes is one Canadian tourist with an iPhone. And Ilya says, we'll climb a mountain, find a cave. Shane smiled sadly. They weren't going anywhere together, and they both knew it. Or maybe you are, dipshits.
Well, and then they start talking about their summer plans, and Ilya's like, I'm going back to Russia, and Shane's like, I'm going to my cottage, my favorite place in the world, it's so private, and I'm like, Shane, I know somewhere that you could go! I know somewhere that you could go!
Here's an idea.
Mr. Krabs, I have an idea.
Yeah, I mean, the cottage is so private. No one would know.
We'd be completely alone. Together.
So Shane says that his cottage is his favorite place on Earth, but also that this bed is strong competition.
I was in my bed last night. It was very late when I was doing these notes. I was, like, giggling and kicking my feet at some of these lines, because I was just like,
The pipeline from you don't like me, yeah, I do, to do you really have to go, yeah, I do.
Yeah, I do.
Crazy. What has it been, like an hour, 2, maybe? God.
And
fuck.
Shane gets dressed without looking at Ilya because he's worried that he's gonna just end up right back in his arms if he glances in his direction. And I was like, I remember their first hookup when they, like, sat back to back to talk about how no one can know about this because, like, Shane couldn't look at him, and I'm just like, the growth.
We've come so far.
Ilya kisses each of Shane's fingertips and then the palm of his hand. I got paid today. The whole check is going in the jar. I will sign the back. We're done. Pack it up, boys. It's said that Ilya looks like he's thinking about something and whether or not he should say something. And then he says, good night, Shane.
First name.
And a jolt of pleasure zipped through Shane's body every time Ilya called him by his first name. That's not what happened in November in Boston. Or was that October?
No,
I don't fucking know.
I think that he did. He was happy, but then he was like,
no, he was. And it scared him.
Here's the thing: is that I'm slowly running out of moments to be like, oh, this is not situationship behavior. Like we're getting to the end game pretty soon, and this is not situationship behavior, Shane.
No.
Yeah, because it's no longer really a situationship.
Shane and Ilya are going to be exchanging rings, and Robert's going to be like, this is not
not
situationship
situationship
behavior.
It's not. At the wedding, Robert's there in the front row, no seats. He's like, this is not situationship behavior, guys.
And so Shane says goodnight, Ilya, checks to make sure the hallway is empty, and then slips out of his room. Because the hall was empty, no one saw the smile that nearly split Shane's face in half. All right. Chapter 18, February 2017, Montreal. 2 weeks after Tampa Bay, Ilya texts Shane about Frank Zulo from the Admirals. He was arrested, put on waivers, which is
And we're
something that
like, we're
happened in the
getting
Game
things
Changer.
directly from Game Changer here now at this point because our timelines are crossing.
And Shane's like, oh my god, how have we never talked about just like hockey gossip?
He said, wait, this is great.
You never talked about it?
We've been fucking for 7 years and just learned how to text!
I know, I was like, I know Mal is gonna say the exact quote that she always does.
I know I said that when we talked about the show, but it's like, they're not even friends with benefits at this point because they're not friends. Because they don't talk. Women would never.
You're not supposed to use the term idiots to lovers anymore, apparently. And so a friend and I don't know, Jess Hardy from our last episode, she and I were talking about like what we should call it, and we have decided on either I think we settled on absolute fucking walnuts to lovers.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No nuts.
Dumbasses to lovers.
But this is very important because they are allowing each other to become something more than a guilty pleasure at this point. That guilty pleasure thing is gone. We are letting go of the guilt of this. And so Shane texts Ilya, and he's like, well, I have to shower. And Ilya's like, oh, you should Skype me.
R.I.P. Skyped. Died, I think, last year. Rest in peace, buddy. No. Let's see if I can emotionally damage a bunch of people in their 20s. Hey, guys, let's get on Uvu.
Oh! Whoa! Whoa! I haven't heard that name in years. But also, this is very clear evidence that Ilya must have an android, because otherwise... I mean, or Shane does, because otherwise you'd be like, FaceTime. It's like, there's definitely a thing in 2017.
That, I was kind of thinking about it from the perspective of, like, international calling, and that being a problem.
Oh, yeah!
It
America
was,
and Canada are different countries. I do
America, Canada, Russia, Canada, yeah. So that's kind of what I was thinking.
I again ask, why can't my boys just use the one true God, WhatsApp? Thank you very much.
I'm sorry, the formatting of the texting in these books drives me up the fucking wall. Where is the editor? Why does it look so bad?
Yeah, if the AO3 authors are out here, like, coding shit to make their text messages look like real text messages, these text messages should look better.
I at least would like for them to be uniform. Because why suddenly in the middle of a paragraph is there a text message that looks different from the rest of the formatting of the text messages?
It was driving me a little crazy that, like, you would get Ilya's message, and then you would get, like, a paragraph in which Shane responded to the message, and then you would get, like, an Ilya message, and I was like, ugh. It made it hard to read. Like, just put the messages as, like, Lily, ... this.
Right,
Jane, ...
but also, like,
this.
I do want to point out, like, that's not Rachel Reid's fault, because that's not her job. That is somebody else's job to make sure that that is formatted properly, and somebody fucked up, and I hate that. Ilya's like, why have we never Skyped before? And Shane's like,
I have never in my life considered that we could have phone sex.
Which is funny because I'm like, okay, leave it to Shane Hollander to be like, sex. Like, and I'm like, or he just wants to see your face, loser. So they text for like an hour, and Shane is unshowered, laying on the couch, laughing out loud alone while texting Ilya.
Giggling, kicking his feet, twirling his hair, all the things, as he's texting the boy he likes.
Being in love.
As they're ending the text exchange, it says he had the embarrassing urge to write, wish you were here, or something. He resisted.
Cringe.
Instead, he wrote, later, and punctuated it with an emoji of a smiley face wearing sunglasses. Ilya signed off with the emoji of a kissy face.
Ooh. I love how this is like the cutesy, relaxed version of like, not now, not here.
Mm-hmm.
I love the evolution of it progressing more from like panic to calm and serenity and love.
Also, what a millennial thing to do, to tell someone goodbye over text. Like, dude, no. It is one perpetual conversation. I don't say hello and goodbye in text messages. It's a very millennial thing, I fear. Or at least for me. But I'm a very young millennial, right? So it's just a conversation that continues. Shane and Ilya are like, hello, goodbye. And I'm like, you don't have to do all that.
Okay, I do think we text different now. I do think we text different now because when you have a crush, you're like, good night, good morning. Like that is, yeah. I mean, whatever their version is, bye with a smiley emoji.
I got the ick once because he would text me good morning every morning, and I was like, I barely know you.
That also, I think, would give me the ick.
Yeah, I fear it would give me the ick too.
Don't tell me good morning.
So we cut to Boston, and
Every time I read the beginning of this paragraph, and I like it
I
happens
think sexual.
every time, and every time I'm like, oh, I thought this last time, because it says Ilya had been texting Shane one-handed. I'm like, hey yo,
No, immediately.
I am possessed by the spirit of Robert, and I give the loudest "Hey yo" of my entire life.
Not the fucking spirit of Robert. I'm not dead yet.
No, because Robert, that is something I have picked up from you, the "Ayo."
Hey, yo.
And no, turns out he's just got an injured elbow.
Right. Don't worry, he gets there. He gets there in the end.
Well, yes, he does get there.
are you telling me he injured his weenus? Those who know.
His excuse for texting Shane is that it was the injury boredom. Like, he's injured and so he's bored. He was half kidding when he suggested phone sex, but now he's like, will Shane actually do it? Again, sure, bud. And then he starts, like, picturing, really, really visualizing what phone sex with Shane would be like. And then he starts visualizing Shane's bedroom. And I'm like, oh my god, this guy still has not seen Shane's fucking house.
He is fantasizing about Shane's interior design.
The color of his sheets.
I designed his interior, but I'd like to know.
Stop that right now.
I rearrange his guts,
interior.
but I would like to know what
I would like to know how his house is set up. So here's the quote. What was Shane's room like? Boring, probably. White walls, probably a framed photo of his parents on his nightstand. Ilya quickly changed it to a framed photo of himself. An autographed one. Shane probably had houseplants. His bedroom probably had a lot of natural light. There was probably a small bookshelf with some dull motivational books and some sports biographies. His bedsheets were probably blue. He probably wore, like, full pajamas to bed, the kind with buttons. But maybe he didn't always button them up. Maybe he just lounged in bed with his pajama shirt open and his pants riding a little low. His bedside lamp would be on so he could read his boring book, and then, when he got tired of reading, he would put the book down neatly on his nightstand, then yawn and stretch himself out. The shirt would open a little more. Like, how are you horny thinking about his interior design? What must his room be like? What must his pajamas be like? What must his bedroom routine be like? Oh no, his shirt is slipping open. I'm seeing.
He's gone domestic. He's gone full domestic.
And so he needs to have a Skype call with Shane. He's decided that he's going to coax dirty talk out of Shane's pretty little mouth. He says he could make it a challenge. Shane couldn't resist a challenge. True.
He
True.
loves a
Time
challenge.
and time again. This is how he gets Shane to do something.
And he says he wanted a whole day with Shane, a weekend, a week. He wanted to be somewhere that no one could possibly interrupt them. Maybe that would be all that he would need. Just the opportunity to get Shane Hollander out of his system. He needed to drink his fill and walk away. Because he would have to walk away. This thing was already getting too complicated. Jesus
Babe,
fucking
we're so
Christ.
fast. We're so past complicated. Girl.
No, he feels the same way about Shane that, like, Shane kind of felt about women. He was like, no, like, there's gonna be this perfect woman and I'm gonna, like, get Ilya out of my system and, like, whatever. And then Ilya's like, yeah, no, this is great. Like, once I get enough of Shane, I'm gonna get him out of my system. It's fine. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, no. Like, I love that he's like, oh my god, I'm imagining him reading a book in his pajamas. This is way too complicated. This is, woohoo, no. Domesticity?
Boy, you love him.
Boy,
You love him.
Shut the fuck up.
You cannot walk away. At this point, like, the diabolical crash out you just had when Shane walked away. Like, you lost the ability to walk away. Like, you could not have walked away in Vegas 3 years ago. I know you tried, but not for good.
And we cut to March. Boston and Montreal are neck and neck for the top spot in the division. The playoffs are a month away. Shane is looking for a three-peat. He's won the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row. He wants to get his third. And it's noted that the record for most Stanley Cup wins by a single player was 11. And he knew that that's kind of hard to get to because that, there were fewer teams in the league. And he says that winning 6 would put him with some of the repeat champions of the 90s. So that was his secret goal. And then no, he's like, actually, my secret goal is 767. 6'7". And so I looked it up. I wanted to see who else has won 6 Stanley Cups. And I actually found a massive list of people who won all 6 with the Montreal Canadiens. And but actually only one of them, let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4,
This list is
5,
crazy.
6, 7. 7 players won 6 Stanley Cups, all with Montreal, but only one of them was a center, and that was Ralph Backstrom.
And all these people, I'm looking at this list, every one of these people won at least 1 cup with Montreal.
And that's not the full list, though. That's just where Montreal was like most concentrated. So
Okay, I was like, wow,
yeah.
you found a lot of Montreal.
So Shane is focused. He's playing very well. He's leading the league in scoring by a narrow margin.
So once again, Shane has temporary custody of the scoring tally, but I don't think he will keep that one for long. So we can say it's 8-5 in favor of Shane right now, but
Yeah. It's also,
we can also keep it as 7. Yeah.
And he's talking hockey. He says Rosanov once again.
But then he knew that must be bothering the shit out of Ilya. And so Shane had been trying not to think about Rosanov too much. I'm like, Shane, make up your mind. Who is he? Jesus Christ.
He's like, this is bothering the shit out of my not quite situationship, not quite boyfriend, Ilya. But then I'm trying not to think about Rosanov. But however, my undefined relationship, Ilya, I can think about him all I want, but I can't think about him.
But fuck Mr. Rosanov. So their unspoken agreement is they don't hook up, they don't do all this, up until March.
Late in the season, yeah.
They mess around until March, and then they're like, nope, gotta hate each other. Ilya texts Shane, and he's like, hey, you should come over before the game. And Shane is like, what the fuck?
Shane shook his head. There was no way he was going to go over there. He could list a million reasons why he couldn't go over there. And he ran through them in his head as he grabbed his jacket and left the hotel room.
It's the best.
It's got his ass.
This is that scene where he is actively getting dressed to go hook up with Ilya. And he's like, we're about to play a game. I can't come over. As
he's like
leaving.
putting his jacket on, shoes on.
Why was he so hungry for Shane that he had broken their sacred rule? God, he was good with his mouth. Something is wrong with Ilya. The thought hit Shane suddenly. He should ask him about it. After. Shane. Shane's like, wait, no. The angel and the devil on my shoulder. Oh, God. Oh, what do I do?
Something's going on, however.
Wait, something's going on, but this is for later.
I came all this way. I am gonna come first before I ask Ilya what's wrong.
Like, listen, something's wrong with Ilya, but who am I to interrupt a man enjoying his lollipop, okay? I have to let him have his fun. And so it says, in the wake of his own release, Shane could feel himself starting to panic. This was weird and bad and weird. They should 1,000% not be doing this, which was like 1% more than the usual amount that they should not be fucking doing this. Rachel Reid, I love you so much. You're so funny.
Except, Ilya was breathing Shane's name, his first name, like a prayer, and gazing at him like he was just as close as Shane was to saying something truly embarrassing and stupid and definite. Shane dug his fingers into the hard muscle of Ilya's thighs as he took his cock deeper into his mouth. I can't believe I just fucking said the word cock, guys. By the way, that is my least favorite word for penis. Fun fact. Shane is thinking if he kept his mouth busy, he wouldn't be able to use it to ruin everything. Like, this man is about to tell Ilya he loves him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, no, I have to suck his dick harder so I don't tell him I love him.
The only way forward.
It's just, they're so ridiculous. They're so ridiculous.
Afterwards, Shane asks Ilya if he's okay, and we get confirmation that, like, yes, my father is dying, but that's not really the problem. He's like, my family keeps asking for money, right? My stepmother just wants money. They're asking for a lot. And then Ilya says that he likes talking to his father better now because he was an asshole when he was himself.
Oh, that really
Brutal.
just...
Yeah.
There's something very infant-like about someone with memory loss, you know?
there's also a very complicated relationship in, like, when you sort of feel that, like, things will be better when your parent dies.
Yeah, when they're gone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, that's... Yeesh. A lot to hang on to.
Shane asks if Ilya has to go back to Russia, and Ilya's like, you should go. And he's not annoyed, he's not angry, he just seems really tired and really sad. And Ilya says, go, I didn't ask you to come over to talk. And Shane says, well, you can, if you ever want to. I mean, you can just call me, or text, or if we're in the same city and you just want to talk instead of... And then Ilya smiles at him, and he's like, instead of? And Shane says, as well as?
As well as?
Ilya's like, I like that better.
Shane is so brave there, because even with Ilya being like, I didn't ask you to come here to talk, which is rude.
He pushes back.
Rude to say. Yeah, he pushes back.
Ilya, it's really funny seeing Shane becoming more vulnerable and being like confident about it, and Ilya being more vulnerable about it and being shy about it, which is the complete opposite of their personalities when they first met.
I like that Ilya says, I didn't ask you to come over to talk, and Shane's like, I know you didn't, but I'm still offering.
Mm-hmm.
And the offer still stands. You can be a dick about it, and you can say that this wasn't the intention. I'm still offering, though, and you're not going to make me change my mind about that. Shane is standing firm in now he's not going to walk it back when it's not received well. He's going to double down. So Boston wins by 2. So now the score is 6-7.
No, 7-6. 7 for Shane, 6 for Ilya, because Boston wins.
6-7. So Ilya scores twice, Shane scores once. It was Ilya's favorite kind of game.
He's such a bitch. Like, just, that's such a bitchy thing to
He's
say,
such a
and I
little
love
bitch.
him so much.
Yeah.
And he had every intention of meeting up with Hollander tonight,
Hollander.
even though they had already stolen an hour together that afternoon. He still knew in the back of his mind that this thing with Shane needed to end.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting, because the thing with Shane needs to end, but the thing with Hollander he has intentions for.
Uh-huh.
That it couldn't be more than sex. Exactly, it couldn't be more than sex. Hollander is sex. Shane is more than that.
Shane is more than his hot body and the sex that he has.
But somehow it had just evolved on its own, and suddenly he no longer worried about looking too eager. He could admit to himself that he wanted to see Shane as much as possible, and he found that he wasn't worried about letting Shane know it anymore, for now, at least. The day would come when they would have to end it, but for now, Ilya was happy to steal as many moments as possible. The day that they have to end it is the day that they put Ilya in the ground.
Yeah.
Because they will also be putting Shane in the ground. Like,
Yeah.
be serious.
Or you know what? In a little funny way, because y'all have made the joke. The way that they end this is they become boyfriends, and then the way they end that is they become fiancés,
And then...
and then they become husbands.
Well, imagine having a husband. That's crazy.
Yeah, don't catch me projecting about my relationship. I'm gonna have a husband.
As Ilya is leaving the arena, Andre calls. And then Shane is waiting for Ilya to text him, and Ilya never does. But he thought maybe Ilya felt the same way about their, well, not relationship, but arrangement. That maybe Ilya had liked spending time with Shane. That they weren't just doing this because it was, in its own complicated way, convenient, or dirty, or wrong, or irresistibly hot. That maybe Ilya's stomach fluttered with excitement too every time their teams were scheduled to meet. It does. That maybe Ilya was also sometimes randomly struck by a memory of a teasing remark or a smile or of gentle fingers stroking his hair and would have to hide his giddy little smile. He does. That maybe he watched Shane's games and was secretly proud when Shane did well. He does.
is.
Because that's how Shane felt when Ilya had a good night, which was ridiculous. Killing myself.
Camille, you owe like $50 to the job.
I
at
already
this
put
point.
my whole check
No,
in
I know
there.
you put your whole paycheck in there, but like I'm still counting.
We're gonna
Are you
have
okay?
to designate.
Do you need to talk?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna go take my Zoloft. But we're actually gonna have to designate a specific listener as, like, the tally keeper so that we know.
Someone let us know how many times. How
Y'all
much
said-
money do we owe to the jar?
Yeah, y'all
this
have said
point.
that you re-listen to the pod, so do us a favor. Keep a tally.
Yeah, someone
Thank you.
count.
I
Someone
know
tally up
somebody
the
will.
money
I know
that
someone
we
will.
owe to the Irina Foundation.
So Shane waits till midnight, thinks about, contacting Ilya, but then ultimately is like, seeing each other twice in one day is crazy. And I'm like, God damn it, Shane, you've taken so much initiative. Just fucking text him. And then he lays in bed and he's like, Does Ilya want to see me?
Yeah, like, he's like, did something terrible happen, or does Ilya just not want to see me? Did you hear about Rosanov?
Rosanna.
Yeah, about Rosanna.
Is he sick? No. I mean, he didn't.
No.
He didn't seem sick.
Not a subtle bone in his body.
What a collection of chapters, guys. Woo!
Jeez.
I know.
Jeez. We've made
This
it.
is not
through it, or have we?
situationship behavior anymore, friends.
No.
Mm-mm.
But it's still technically a situationship because they haven't defined the relationship.
You're right.
Your
And we're
boyfriend's
still
here.
kinda-
We're so far away from your boyfriend.
God, I'm gonna be kind of sad when that joke eventually dies. When like they
No,
define the
Robert, I
relationship.
think the joke is funnier when they're like,
It gets
like
funnier,
in
actually.
a full relationship, and you're like, this is not situationship behavior.
And that'll be technically true. The best kind of truth to be.
Wow.
Next time, we're doing 19 through 21.
Damn, the next chapter's hella sad. Have fun with that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, Leigh, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, guys. This is great. I'm gonna go rewatch episode 5.
You should. This was like all of episode 5.
Yep.
No, it's not.
No,
No,
it's not.
no, because
It's not.
This,
What's crazy is
this
how
like
much
half
happens in episode 5.
What the fuck am I talking about?
Oh wait,
No,
So
this is
much
like
happens
half
in 5.
episode 5.
he's
This is
gotta
like
get
20
his
minutes of
shit
episode
rocked.
5. He has to get his shit rocked.
God.
This
is 20
Kip and
minutes
Scott
of
have to
episode
have their
5.
moment.
Jacob Tierney, what a brilliant mind.
God, yeah, you really like...
Because
Jacob
it
Tierney
doesn't
needs some
feel like you
headlight.
missed anything.
No.
Leigh, is there anything else you want to tell our listeners or share? Anything like that? Anything you want to plug other than Shane Hollander?
Would you like to tell us something that you've never told anyone before? Like Shane and Ilya?
Suddenly my mind's gone blank.
Here's a question. Holanov or Shilya?
It's hauling off.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
all enough.
As
Who the
Wait,
fuck says
what's-
Shilia?
Oh, Hollander
Rachel Reid.
Rosanov or Rosanov Hollander? Like hyphenated.
Hollander Rosanov or Rosanov Hollander? I think it's Hollander Rosanov.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you disagree? Are you Rosanov Hollander?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, they gotta be in alphabetical order.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Mm-mm.
It's imperative.
Yeah.
It's
It's
imperative.
Hollander Rosanov.
You're forgetting about their firstborn son.
Roger Rosander.
Yes. Roger Rosander. We're not naming our kid Roger, you sack of shit.
Okay.
Well,
Great. This has been fun.
if that's all.
Nice knowing you.
If that's all. So long,
is.
fellow losers.